What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be reading Diary of an Awesome Wimpy Kid, Rowley Jefferson's journal. Okay, so, hi, I'm Rowley Jefferson, and this is for my diary. I hope you like it so far. I decided to start a journal because my best friend, Greg Heffley, has one, and we usually do the same stuff. Oh yeah, I should mention that me and Greg are best friends. I'm sure you're probably like, well, tell me more about this Greg guy, but my book isn't about him, it's about me. The reason I call my book a diary of an awesome friendly kid is because that's what my dad always saying about me. Like I mentioned already, Greg is my second best friend, which makes my dad my second best friend, but I don't tell him that because I don't want to hurt his feelings. Now that I brought up my dad, I should get to mention that he doesn't seem to like Greg all that much, and the reason that I get that feeling is because my dad is always saying it. But that's the only reason my dad doesn't really get Greg's sense of humor. Right now you're probably thinking, hey Riley, I thought this book was supposed to be about you. Well, you're right. From now on, I promise there's going to be a lot more Riley in here. The first thing you need to know about this is that me and I live with my dad in a house on top of Surrey Street, which is on the same street my best friend Greg goes on. I've already talked about my dad. My mom's pretty good too because she feeds me healthy food and keeps my body clean. Every morning I walk to school with my friend Greg. We usually have a total blast together, but sometimes I do things that annoy him. But what really gets on Greg's nerves is when I copy him, so I'm probably not going to let him know about this journal because it's just going to make him mad. Anyway, writing this book is a lot of work, and so that's all I'm going to do for today. But tomorrow I'll put a little bit more Greg in here because, like I said, we're best friends. Okay, so bad news. Greg found out about my diary. I guess I felt kind of proud that I had my own journal and I wanted to show him. But just like I predicted, it made him mad. Greg said I totally ripped him off and that he was going to sue me for stealing his idea. I said, well, go ahead and try because you're not the first person to write a diary. Then Greg said it's a journal, not a diary, when he whacked me with my own book. I told Greg it was going to be a jerk, then I wouldn't say nice things about him in my journal. Then I showed him what I wrote so far. First he seemed to know it because I always forget to draw noses on people. Then he said my book gave him an idea. Greg said one day he's going to be rich and famous and everyone will want to know his whole life story. And I said I could be the first one to write it. I said I thought that's what your journal is for, and it's an autobiography, but my book can be about his biography. Greg said there are a lot of biographies about him one day, but he gave me the chance to write the first one. I thought that sounded like a good idea because I'm Greg's best friend and no one knows him better than me. So now I'm going to start this book over with a new title, and now the main character is going to be Greg instead of me. But don't worry, I'm still going to be in it a lot too. Most biographies about presidents and famous people start with a chapter called Early Life. Well, the problem is I didn't meet Greg until 4th grade, so I don't know a lot about what happened to him before then. I've seen a few photos hanging on the walls in Greg's house before that I can see he was a regular baby, and if he did anything important when he was little, I can't really tell from the pictures. Anyway, fast forward to right before the start of 4th grade. Now this biography is going to get a lot more detail. We used to live in a whole different state. Then my dad got a new job and we had to move. My family bought a house at the top of Surrey Street and we moved in over the summer. First few days I didn't leave the house because I was scared about being in a new place. I know you're wondering, well, when is he going to meet Greg? But just wait, I'm getting to that part. My mom said I should try to make some friends, and she even bought me a book called How to Make Friends in New Places to help me do it. The book had all kinds of things like knock-knock jokes to help a kid, like me meet people, but the tricks in the book didn't really work on Greg. Luckily, me and Greg became friends. I told Greg I lived in a house at the top of the hill, and he said that was kind of bad news for me because when our lot was empty, he planted a flag there. So he owned my house, plus everything was in it. But later on, my dad told me that that wasn't true, and then we went to Greg's house to get my bike. I'm pretty sure that's the first time my dad told me he did about Greg. But I like Greg a lot. He's always doing hilarious things that make me laugh after I take a big gulp of milk. Plus, Greg is always playing wacky pranks on me, and usually it makes me laugh pretty hard too. So I bet you can tell when me and Greg have been best friends since 4th grade. I've even got us a locket to make it official, but Greg says those things are for girls, and that's why he won't wear his out. Well, I could probably fill up a whole book with all the zany things me and Greg do, but since it's biography, I should probably write some stuff about his family. So that's going to be where we're ending today. So page 1 through 15 in Diary of an Awesome Wimpy Kid.